Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones is officially happening. UFC legend Chael Sonnen has just dropped a massive bombshell, and fans everywhere are going crazy. This is the heavyweight showdown the entire MMA world has been waiting for.
All the way down to the date. That I do have a confidence to tell you. Jon Jones never backed down from that fight. That is not accurate. That was misreported. Jon Jones never said no to that fight. He talked about he was going to negotiate. He needed $30 million. He never got the phone call where he flinched, just so you know.
I do know what's happening. I have had meetings with the UFC, as we know. I have been sworn to seek
Aspinall. And I did hear that rumor. And I did hear that the UFC said yes, but it is not true. So Dana contacted me and said that rumor's bullshit. So I felt obligated to tell everybody that was a fake rumor.
What do you think the amount is that Jon Jones would fight him for, or do you think it's an amount?
Well, apparently Jon is thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And he should. I mean, he's going to have to someday. He should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's Jon Jones. He's the GOAT. So leave him alone. If he decides one day to come back, and he comes back and he wants to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, the question is, like, how long are you allowed to hold on to the title before they start having that conversation? Now, he just knocked out Stipe Miocic, so give the man months. Give the man 5 or 6 months. Just leave him the fuck alone. But at a certain point in time, you have to decide who the heavyweight champion is. And if Tom is the interim heavyweight champion and Jon decides he doesn't want to fight anymore, he could do that. And he could do that also and then come back in a year. And
on his podcast, he said this fight absolutely needs to happen. Jon Jones' legacy is on the line. You can't run from a challenge like Tom Aspinall.
Aspinall in the second round. All of his fights, like all together, he's fought like 10 minutes. Aspinall's one of the fastest heavyweights. He might be the fastest heavyweight in the history of the sport. Look how fast he moves in. That guy's so fast. He moves like 175-pounder. Incredible stand-up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu.
So what's your prediction if it happens?
It's hard to bet against Jon. You're getting just laced up with elbows where your head's bleeding. He's going to slowly dismantle you and find a way to submit you. Can he do that with a guy like Aspinall, who's a legit 255-pound natural who moves like he's 80 pounds lighter? He's a freak.
Behind the scenes, Dana White is reportedly frustrated. He wants this fight to happen.
I'm waiting outside for me right now, and Jon, you let Jon do Jon. Jon's going to disappear. Not only will you not hear about him or what he's doing, neither will I. And then he will resurface and he'll call and we'll get it done.
Since this is the last time we'll speak to you probably for the remaining of the year, Jones versus Aspinall, is that sort of the big priority, and you think that's the biggest fight the promotion can put on in 2025?
100%. And I think it's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight history, and it's a massive fight in the history of the company too. It's a big fight.
Yeah, we know Tom Aspinall's down. Jones is kind of like on the fence, or at least that's what he said publicly. But
right.
Have you talked?
It's weird.
How confident?
What's weird about that? Let me tell you what's weird about that. So usually, those guys say that shit behind the scenes and not publicly. Jon says that shit publicly, but not behind the scenes. Jon is a very unique individual to deal with. From day one, I've been confident that Jon Jones would do that fight, right? I mean, even before the fight, I said if he won, there's no way Jon doesn't do this fight. Jon Jones isn't afraid to fight anybody, and that's a fact. And the only time that anything remotely weird has ever happened with Jon Jones was the time that his fucking camp did the weird Chael Sonnen thing. We can't fight Chael Sonnen on short notice. Other than that, and that wasn't him. It was his team, and he listened to his team for whatever reason. But that's like the goofiest fucking move in the history of the UFC. But other than that, Jon Jones behind the scenes is not a guy that turns down fights.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah.
And you can bet Tom Aspinall is more than ready. He's been vocal, calling out Jon Jones, saying he'll fight anyone, anywhere. And now he's stuck in limbo.
Dana said it's the biggest fight in UFC history now, so...
Yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there.
Everyone thinks you're a bit of like a quintessential good guy. Could we see a heel turn at some point in the MMA world?
We might do.
Conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC is saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego a little bit. I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think.
Damn. What drug are you talking about specifically?
Fast reflexes. And Stipe Miocic at 42 years old just doesn't have the reflexes anymore.
No.
That someone like a 31-year-old, I don't even think I'm in my prime.
Ariel Helwani chimed in as well, saying this could be one of the biggest missed opportunities in UFC history.
And we know what Jon wants to a degree. I think ultimately it's on him. Now, we don't need to get into the whole, like, at what point do they need to pull the plug on this, and when's the deadline? We've done that song and dance a bunch of times, and I'm kind of tired of it. Like, they'll do it when they need to do it. They'll do it when they want to do it. They'll do it when they need Tom to fight. If Jon isn't going to be that guy. But I think at this point, there are some people who want to say, hey, the UFC didn't make Jones versus Ngannou. The UFC didn't make this big fight. The UFC didn't make that big fight. When the story is written on this fight, if it doesn't come to fruition, I don't think it will be on the UFC. I really think the UFC, based on what I'm hearing and have been told, I really think the UFC has done everything that they could to make.
The fans are hungry, and the heavyweight division has never been more electric. But with Jon Jones demanding more money, everything is at standstill. Is this just a negotiation tactic? Is he really hesitating? Or is he simply trying to cash out big before it's too late? Speculation is running wild. Some say Jon's scared, while others insist he's just being smart.
I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this Jon's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him. Let's see how he does against that. I get that narrative. But for me, if you were my manager, if you were on my team, why not fight against?
One thing's for sure. This fight has become the ultimate will they, won't they, in the UFC right now. Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones promises fireworks. 2 elite fighters, raw power, unmatched technique, high drama, everything you could want in a showdown.